college coaching perspective, how do you approach recruiting now with, the possible reduction of with a few roster spots, and where is the high school athlete with regard to your specifically?
Well, I think we all had the same access to, Twitter or X, and we had the ability to see what was probably coming down the pike, right? Um, College baseball's been at 40 since COVID,
Right.
and you knew that it was going to go back towards 35, 34, somewhere in that vicinity. Um, Here, we chose to go to 37 this fall, and that way we could kind of go halfway there. We understood it was obviously going to go back towards that 35 number. So we didn't want to have that issue in June when all of a sudden they're like, okay, now you got to lose 6 spots. We wanted to kind of, make our way there, if that makes sense. So that was a choice that, I made here that, I didn't want to have those conversations. So we kind of went halfway. Second, with the portal and junior college getting a year back and all these things that have happened is ever since COVID, I think the NCAA, not just baseball, but has got addicted to the 5th year guy,
Correct.
and that the level of play that's happened when 23-year-olds are on the field or the court or whatever it may be compared to the 18 to 22-year-old, everyone went, wow, the product is a lot better. Cleaner game, less mistakes, may not be as talented, but the actual play is much cleaner. And I think you've seen the rules allowing this 23-year-old to continue to play, and with that, there's a reason that most MLB teams that win are old. They're experienced, and they have a mix of some extremely talented young players and some older experienced players that don't make mistakes. I played for Brian Sabian and Bruce Bochy, and they were known to be really difficult for rookies because we made mistakes and they didn't like that. And that's real. And that's, college coaches are the same. And I think that if you go back in time, like, I was in college in 2000 at Oral Roberts in 2001, but I was drafted out of high school and I went to junior college. It's not a new playbook. In that era, you were either going to be a draft pick as a junior or they were going to play you as a junior and a senior coming from junior college. All those Southern California teams that were in the World Series at that point, they were just taking the players from all those California junior colleges, the Cypresses of the world and all that. And they were running kind of the same program, and all those kids came there, unlimited hours in junior college practice. And, so they already knew how to run everything. So it's not a new playbook. It is a very old playbook to play experience. The rules now have allowed you to be a little bit older and stay more experienced on the field. And with that, that's where the portal and the junior college thing does kick in. And I think colleges are getting better at it, at figuring out how to stay older. Because when I first started coaching, everyone used to take that kid 25%. That was the smallest scholarship you can
Right.
get. And it was like during his senior year, and you're like, gosh, we got a little bit of money left. Let's give it a shot on this kid. And ultimately, you were doing the kid a disservice because he was not going to come in and play. And now that young man is able to go to junior college and collect himself, 300, 400 at bats. And then he comes to the Division I level as a pretty good player. But when that young man was coming to whatever school on a 25%, he was pumped the day he signed. Then he shows up, he's behind a 22-year-old, doesn't play, gets 3 semesters at the school, then goes to a junior college, confidence shot. So ultimately, I think we're probably in a better spot for that type of kid now with the rules the way they are.
What I love is that you just brought this back to where I really wanted it to go, and I kind of knew that this was your